I mean, I took him on for better or for worse. Well, we had some good years. Didn't we, love?
Yeah.
Well, Richard slipped out of bed. Don't ask how he did it. I think he was trying to get up by himself. And he slipped down the side of the bed and landed in a heap between the bed and the cabinet. This was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't have lifted him anyway. And ever since he broke his neck, I've been wary of moving him. And we have this call helpline, which I called, and they said straight away we will send an ambulance. And then at 8:30, the paramedics arrived. When they arrived, they were absolutely marvellous. And they checked him over and said, apart from superficial bruising, and they couldn't find anything wrong, and his neck was all right. But they said to me, will you please complain about this? It isn't acceptable. It's horrible for us to have to come and find someone's been on the floor for this length of time.
We know that, the longer a patient waits for an ambulance, the more likelihood they are of being taken to hospital and in the end admitted. Well, I'm leading a programme of work around reducing ambulance handover delays at hospital, because it's a huge problem nationally and particularly across CCAM. So we're looking at ways that we can make the process, both for the handover of patients at hospitals and for the crew to clear as quickly as possible, so we can minimise the handover delays. Often the problem is not necessarily in A&E, because often the A&Es work particularly well. It's the back door of A&E, maybe finding beds for patients in hospitals or discharging patients in a timely manner that creates that flow. So it's the flow generally around the system that means that sometimes ambulance handover delays are increasing.
Well, that I think is the crux of the matter, that the government have not sufficiently funded social care, so people do stop in hospital, either because they've got to, because of the lack of care out of hospital, or, as I said before, there are a few people who are very scared of leaving a hospital bed.
I think from CCAM's point of view, I think we really need to focus on that crew to clear time. We recognise that not all crews will be able to clear within 15 minutes. Sometimes when there's been a difficult handover, there's extra paperwork to be completed, or our crews need time to clean the ambulance, and we recognise that we're not really going to make that 100%. But actually, if there are any issues that would help crew to clear time within 15 minutes, any solutions, then we need to look at that. We need to think about the risk of patients in the community who are waiting for an ambulance, who they haven't been seen.
It is hard sometimes. I get cross with him sometimes. But it's not his fault. And really it's stress that does it, you see.